Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to have a very important discussion today that I think is really prevalent in the minds of a lot of players, especially with the addition of floors 3 and 4 to the TOA, HP going up in WuWa, so on and so forth. And that is the idea of power creep. And I'm going to be honest with you. Power creep exists in Wuthering Waves, and it has actually existed to a very high degree. But the example that I have on the screen right now, showing you this character Augusta, isn't actually the main type of power creep that I want to focus on today. Because yes, Augusta is a limited electro DPS that came in, and without a doubt, with a 4-star character, started outperforming one of the limited electro teams that we have in the game, featuring Xiangli and of course, Yinlin. It is no lie at all to say that Augusta and her team perform on average a lot better than Xiangli Yinlin. But this is the situation. And I think this is a common bit of truth that unfortunately has kind of not been top of mind for a lot of players, especially some of the day one ones. And this is what I'm just going to tell you right now. This team right here is the worst team in the game. It is, without a doubt, and has been since its release, the worst limited team in the game. When you take this team, you give them all their signatures, you give them all full builds, you give them their best Sonata sets, they have the lowest DPS out of every other limited team. And you want to know the worst part about it is? This team was completed in the second half of version 1.2 when Xiangli was released. You want to know some of the teams that deal more damage than this team? This team, with all limited characters and all their SIGs, deals less damage than this one. A 1.0 team with a 4-star unit, Mortefi, outperforms the Xiangli Yinlin team in terms of raw DPS and raw damage. Another team that outperforms it is, of course, a team like this that was also made available in version 1.2. Jinsi, with Verena or Shorekeeper alongside a G-Jaw. This team, since its release, has been the worst one in the game. And this is the type of power creep that I really want to focus on. Reverse power creep. This team came out and has gotten the lowest overall results in the TOA, in Whimpering Waves, so on and so forth. All of these different game modes. And there are a lot of reasons for it. The main one being that Yinlin is without a doubt the worst sub-DPS in the game. This is just in general a character that doesn't really do a lot. She doesn't really do damage. She has no utility. Her rotation is one of the most painful, awkward things to do in the game. She has no iframes, interruption everywhere. But the main thing is, even with a decent level of investment, this character, even with her weapon, she just doesn't deal any fucking damage at all. And here's the proof that I'll show you all. This team, that Xiangli Yinlin team with all signatures, I'll show you what it can't do. It cannot clear floor 4. I don't even think it can clear floor 3 of the TOA. It is the only team in the game that cannot clear these floors. Jiyan's 1.0 team can clear both of these floors. Jinsi's team, when you might sub out Jeje for Cantarella, it can clear the floors. But at least from my gameplay, and this is the thing, keyword, my gameplay, I have not actually been able to clear with this team. People are clearing with Havoc Rover Sanhua, an entirely free-to-play team, and this one is not really even getting close. And this is the thing, I'm not just going to like have you take my word for it. I'll show you some of the runs. Some of them might be from past VOD recordings as well. We'll see if we need to go there. But we'll just do some runs, comparing with you all what other 1.0 DPSs, what other 1.0 teams actually look like in these floors. And I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's not particularly pretty. So I think the first one that makes a decent amount of sense to look at is, of course, the Morning Ike's floor, right? And we'll make sure to show you all the build that I'm talking about. This is a pretty decent build. I know we have too much ER, but we got a decent amount of attack, decent crit rate. With Shorekeeper, it should be fine. This is what the Yinlin is looking like. And yes, she could have a little bit more crit damage, but overall, it's a pretty great build, especially with Shorekeeper. And yes, I could give her an additional level or 2 on her skill and liberation, but I feel like a 9-10-9 is, you know, that's going to be pretty much, that should be good enough for a sub DPS like her. Her forte, of course, does have level 10. That's, you know, that's where coordinated attacks are coming from. So let's just see how this team does. One thing to know is my Shorekeeper does not have her signature, so we won't have that attack buff. And let's just see how this team does. on this floor. Floor 3. You're noticing over here, damn, I had to use Zhang Liao's Liberation over here. That kind of sucks. That's because Yinlin, with her rotation, deals almost no damage, sir. All right, unfortunately, right, you're beginning to see over here, we had a bit of a grouping issue. We'll call that one skill issue over there. A bit of a grouping issue. But in a lot of situations, other sub-DPS characters in this game will just go ahead and, like, eliminate that entire first wave by themselves. So that your DPS doesn't have to, like, do some crazy shit.
Stay calm.
So let's just look at this again.
Lion graft you knew. Diminish. Tear them to pieces. I've had enough. Get lost. Obey.
Hopefully we'll crit all these guys, right? Maybe this will get it. Okay, nice. We just crit all of them. Let's see if we can get some grouping going on. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, that's about as good as we're gonna get that one. And so you're probably beginning to see, oh man, we spent all of Yinlin's forte, right, to kill those first mobs. Her coordinated attacks aren't even, like, active for this next wave that spawns. And so it's just like, oh my lord, this feels awful.
It's our curtain call.
Right, now her forte's on, but it feels like it's taking us like 10 business days. To get through this. And this is the thing, right? It doesn't feel like Zhang Liao is the issue. It feels like it's entirely fucking Yinlin. This character feels like she has so many drawbacks and no benefits. And this is how we know that is the case. When you have literal 1.0 teams, right, that feature units like Jiyan and Mortefi that literally deal more damage than if you had used Yinlin. Guys, there's clearly only one thing going on over here. This team is hilariously undertuned for having this many 5-star characters. It is hilariously undertuned for having this many fucking 5-star limited characters alongside their weapons.
Vow from the soul. Astral modulation. Tear them to pieces.
And you can see over here, I'm not even doing anything like awful in my rotation. It's just, I'm not even doing anything awful over here. It's just there's damage missing somewhere, even with builds that are, you know, looking like this. And this is the thing, right? Yes, I had a grouping issue in some areas. Yes, I might have lost Yinlin's outro skill, you know, on one of the hypercubes. But it's not to the point where, like, a team with this much investment should look like they have clear times like this. And this is the thing. If this is the team that you're using, yes, right? You're gonna feel like power creep is super real. You're gonna feel like power creep is absolutely insane. But an honest part about the issue is just, this team is some dog shit, brother. This team is just fucking bad because your sub DP. Look, Zhang Liao's damage is like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, right? Zhang Liao looks like he's great when he's on the field. But then Yinlin is just a fucking joke. She's a joke. And when you're comparing and you're running that Zhang Liao Yinlin team in all of these different floors, that's what's going to be super clear to you. This team looks like shit. But then when I go ahead and do something like this, you're going to notice something very odd. When I switch around and use a different 1.0 team. Let's take a look at this.
The battlefield is
This is going to be my Jiyan over here.
Understood.
We're going to use the same shorekeeper.
I'm here to serve
And
your
then we're
will.
just going to use a Mortefi on I'm not going to lie, it's kind of like a dog shit Moonlit Clouds build, but that's what we're going to be using on Mortefi. That's what he has available. And this is what the Jiyan team is going to look like doing that exact same floor.
I engraft you new.
Fury boils. Burn. As you wish. Let's you're wide open. Listen, fear no more.
Yes, this team, sub DPS issue, right? But the thing is, you can literally see, like, it's like 4,000 times better. This is an S1, R1 Jiyan, right? I'm going ahead, yes. I have his signature, I have all of that. But I'm intentionally not even using his S1.
Fury boils. Burn to ashes. Let's ready for battle. This another way. Unstoppable. Finale.
Ordained.
Would S1 make a difference if he did use it? Not really.
In war
Not really.
time.
And like, this is the thing, right? You can clearly see at similar levels of investment, similar crit rates, all of that, this team, without a limited character, literally feels better and stronger. Yes, and some people might be saying, oh, Jiyan gets a 30% heavy attack buff. I'm going to be honest with you guys. A 30% heavy attack buff, when you factor in all the other buffs that are available in this TOA, is not really that much. You can already see characters like Zani, right, aren't going ahead and face rolling floor 3. They still have some pretty decent issues while clearing. And I'm intentionally playing with a little bit of a skill issue right now, right? I'm not like frame perfect dodging. I'm not like maximizing uptime on the shield buff. I'm like intentionally, you know, getting hit with a couple of things, not doing like everything perfectly, making sure that, you know, that shield buff is dropping as well. And you can just see, right? Brother,
Ordained.
it's so much better, it's unbelievable.
Inferno.
I engraft you new.
Fury boils. As you wish. Feel my wrath. Let's do your wide open this another way. 7. Fear no more.
And that's just clearing with those obvious mistakes with like 20 seconds left. 17, 18 seconds left. And it's just this team with literally no limited sub DPS, with a 4-star sub DPS, who is like, you can even, this is the thing, right? You can talk about the 30% heavy attack damage bonus. Guys, Jiyan is using a sub DPS who's literally giving him 7% less amp than Yinlin. Yinlin's amp is 45% for Xiangli Yao. This is 38% for Jiyan, and it doesn't even apply to his skill, right? Yinlin's outro is so much better. But the thing is, Yinlin as a character is so dog shit that it like balances out, and she ends up completely dragging the entire fucking team down. And that is just a fact about how this character works. Or really, how that prior team worked. It is a piece of dog shit. And when the unfortunate part is that those are where a lot of like the baseline teams are. This team over here that I'm showing you at the very top, this one right here, this is the worst performing team in the game. And it's literally, actually, straight up just worse than a team with one less limited unit. And of course, it doesn't even have a signature weapon as well. So you're basically discounting 2 5-stars from the equation. For the amount of investment that is put into like the pulls, for the amount of investment that's put into like the build, and of course the weapons as well, this team performs so badly, it's absolutely fucking unreal. And this is what I think is kind of like the problem. This team is a massive step down from all the other 1.0 teams. I do believe some of the raw numbers that are out there, and feel free to double check me on this, is that the DPS of this team is like 50k on average, and the Jiyan team is like 60k, and the Jinsi team is also like 60k as well. This team with more limited DPS characters literally has like almost 20% less damage than a team with only 2 of them. And when that occurs, guys, and you're running all your power creep comparisons, right? All of your new teams versus previous team comparisons, and this is the main one that's coming up, it's gonna look really, really, really bad. But the thing is, this team also looks really fucking bad compared to just the 1.0 ones as well. You saw how bad it did in Floor 3. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, it looks even worse in Floor 4. We'll just give it a try, right? We'll give it a try with the Yinlin Xiangli out with the Yinlin Xiangli out team. I'll show you all exactly what ends up actually occurring over here. I'll show you what ends up happening. Let's just say it's not pretty. Because surely, right? Surely Yinlin will be all right here because her coordinated attacks are going to stay. Surely. It won't be as much of an issue.
That's just the stage is yours. Astral modulation.
Tear them to pieces. I've had enough. Get lost. Obey.
Theory of elimination. All shall reveal itself.
Okay, we missed that crit. We'll restart. We'll give him a chance to actually deal damage.
Worry not.
Your time is over.
I'll even like go sweaty and like throw in Zhang Liao's skills in the middle of his rotation
Obey me.
so that, right, he ends up
That's strength.
building up his one of his inherents. Yeah, we'll even do that.
Pierce through the stars.
There we go. Nice 260k liberation, right? Awesome.
Exploit. Profit.
Oath from the heart. In war with time.
Tear them to pieces. Time to wrap it up.
Oh, that damage is just disgustingly bad, bro.
Theory of elimination. All shall reveal itself. Exploit. Profit.
And you can kind of see over here, it's not looking terrible on this stage, but we're still gonna need like a lot more time than it would for basically any other character, any other DPS team in the game.
Astral modulation.
Tear them to pieces. Obey me. You're not getting away.
If there's a character that I would put on my needs reworked list, it is this one on the screen right now, brother. She needs help.
Through the stars.
She needs help.
Exploit. Profit.
But Zhang Liao, this guy feels okay. All right. We got a little bit of a freeze action going on, so yeah, you know that could be blamed on us.
From the heart. Loading. Iron graft you knew.
But you can see over here, I don't think I'm playing particularly badly, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, nothing really seems to be working.
Obey me. Be gone.
We're just gonna skip her liberation because I think it's dog shit. We're just skipping her liberation. Like otherwise the rotation's gonna take fucking forever. I don't even know where her ER gain went. It actually disappeared into the fucking abyss.
Reconfiguration.
even get like a great break in there as well.
Ordained.
Honestly, this might make it. This might make it, actually. Are we gonna be able to fucking pull it off at the last fucking hour? We might, boys. We might.
Get lost.
But you can see over here, it's not like we're doing like awful gameplay at all. And it's this close. It doesn't clear. This literally does not clear. Do you see how disgustingly bad this fucking team is? Is it becoming clear yet? How awful this team does in comparison to every other fucking team. And now, let's do a bit of a comparison run now. Because I want to make sure I'm using another 1.0 DPS character, right? And people are going to say, oh, Jiyan's going to have his 30% heavy attack. Well then, what if I use a Jinxie with a Cantarella? What if I use a Jinxie with a Cantarella and Varina? Cantarella's 2.0? Well, if you want me to use Jeja, then this is the thing. The enemy over here on this side, the Lampilumen Myriad, is Glacial Immune. So the only reason why I would use a Jeja is for that. How about this? Why don't we use a Camellya team instead then? Yeah, there we go. Why don't we use a Camellya team? That's a fair one. Because that one is gaining no benefits. It's purely a 1.0 team. And I've heard that apparently I can actually just use like EOG and like run an actual like DPS build. Fuck it. I guess we'll try that as well. Why don't we put like an actual damage build on her for once? I've never done this before, so I might be fucking this up, but surely, right? Surely this can do something, right? We've been using her once again on the naked build for like so long that I don't know what her actual investment looks like or what she looks like with actual investment. Wait. Okay, wait. Okay, surely. Oh, you know what? If it rolls crit, I'm taking it. I don't care. That's good enough. My moonlit pieces are kind of dog shit. So don't expect that much damage out of her anyways. The moonlit pieces are awful. So that's just something to keep in mind. So we've already done it with Jiyan. We could easily do it with Jinxie, but unfortunately, well, people are gonna get mad at me for using Cantarella. I guess we'll do it for Camellya then. And then we'll make sure to run a Sanhua as well. And she's gonna be at a dog shit level of investment still. Oh, dearie me. Yeah, maybe I level up some of these abilities. Yeah, maybe I do some of that. Yeah, I mean, 888. That looks okay to me. We'll do that. All right, now let's see what the Camellya team is looking like, ladies and gentlemen, against that floor 4. Isn't that also the case for Jeja? True, but more of the damage comes from the sub DPS and the other teams.
Like frigid death.
All right.
Stay behind me.
Okay, I guess we can still do the amazing combo.
Deceivers. Drafting. Suffer. Oath from the heart.
Lotus pervade.
I engraft you new.
Stay behind me.
Sprout a budding seed. Struggle harder.
All right.
Entertain me. Let's have fun.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see over here, looking pretty solid overall on this clear. We should get very close to comfortably, like, 2 rotating this guy. Unfortunately, won't get out there, like, all the way, but he should die, like, relatively soon into, like, the next rotation, right?
Like frigid death.
Oh my gosh, he got canceled. Okay, well, that's a little unfortunate. Yeah, our Sanhua rotation just got stuffed there.
Not prevention.
Bloom for the ashen shell. Let's have fun. Don't run. Keep the dance going. Crimson Blossom.
And we missed an ephemeral there, unfortunately. We missed an ephemeral there, and yeah, that did almost no damage.
Frozen blockade.
We missed the crit on the ephemeral, my bad.
Stay
Reborn from ancient roots. Struggle harder. Entertain me.
So yeah, we missed the crit on ephemeral, which is meant to be dealing like way more damage.
Vitality sour.
We missed that crit on ephemeral as well. Yeah, so that's 2 ephemeral crits missed. We hit every single Xiangli crit on the other rotation, by the way. We hit every single Xiangli liberation crit. That's basically the ephemeral of that team.
Stay behind me.
Bloom from ashen shell.
And let's see if we still clear.
Self-deceivers.
We missed that crit as well.
Crimson blossom.
And that one too! Okay, so we basically missed 4 crits in a row at 80% on the biggest nukes in our kit, and that's how much HP it has left after missing 4 crits. So, this clears. That probably clears with 15 seconds left if I hit a single crit. But unfortunately, we missed 4 crits in a row, and we get the same result as a Xiangli team. We missed 4 crits in a row at 80%, 82.5% crit. 4 crits in a row on the biggest nukes in our kit. And we got the same result as the Xiangli team, landing every crit. Are we beginning to see now exactly what I'm saying? It's very clear where that Camellya team clears. It 1000% does if any of those 4 crits land, without a doubt. And then the Xiangli team, where we had RNG on our side with the same crit rate, we crit on all of our big hits. That one just looks hopeless. But for this team over here with the Camellya, you saw that there clearly was hope. IMO, that's kind of the issue. Crit fishing is not that fun. So if it's not obvious to you that that is a insane result to miss 4 crits in a row on 82.5, that is a low roll. That's only going to happen in maybe like 1 out of 20 runs. You will typically never get RNG that bad where you miss 4 crits in a row on your biggest hits at 82.5%. That's not a realistic result to expect, and that you should factor into your gameplay. It happened right now, but it's very obvious that we would have cleared with that team if that wasn't the case. And this is the thing, guys. It doesn't look like that. Just proves more and more how fucking bad the Xiangli Yinlin team actually is. Do we see, ladies and gentlemen? It is literally outperformed by these 1.0 characters, by the Jiyans, by the Camelyas, literally using 4-star supports. They're literally using this team. This team is getting no diffed by this team. It's getting no diffed by this team. And of course, I'll toss another one in. It's getting no diffed by this team as well with Havoc Rover. And then it also gets no diffed where you replace Havoc Rover with Camellya and just run the same team. This team literally gets outperformed by this one, this one, this one, and this one. And that's the power creep, ladies and gentlemen. It's called reverse power creep, where a set of characters, a team was made where it just straight up has worse results than every other team in the game. It has worse results than pure free-to-play teams. And the unfortunate part about all of this is that I don't even think Xiangli is the problem. He just has a dog shit sub DPS next to him that is making his performance look awful. Because whenever this guy's not on the field, this team's doing no damage. And she does nothing in her rotation that makes up for it. And while her outro skill is good God, everything else that she brings to the table is pretty much not there. And this is kind of like a public outcry. Yes, either she needs to be reworked, she needs to be buffed. I think she's the first character on the table that needs like a leap to like adjust her kit to make it playable again. I think this guy just needs a level support. This is my point of view. Was released into the game, right? And this is her outro skill buff. 50% heavy attack amplification, right? They just need a liberation version of her where it's like 50% Liberation Damage Amp. And once Xiangli has one of these units, I'm pretty fucking sure he's back to tier 0.5, back to tier 0, maybe something like that. Because right now, she's just a piece of steaming dog shit. And there's not really a solid alternative to her for any of his teams. With John Shin, her rotation takes too long. There's no raw electro buffer. It's like, bro has no option to obtain viability other than to be played in dual DPS. That is his only option right now to reliably clear these floors, is to play him in quick swap dual DPS, because this character is so fucking bad. When every other hypercarry team in the game is like able to clear, and this one is not. And this is the thing, right? We have some research. We've looked at some facts. We looked at like some glue to be able to really verify the things that we're saying over here. This is an example of what HP is looking like in floors 1 and 2 of the TOA. And the fact of the matter is, there has been a slight bit of an increase in version 2.4. And I think that's to account for the rising increase of the power of Sonata sets. But it hasn't really been seen ever since. This big jump that you see in 2.4 R2 in terms of like HP is really only there for, you know, to indicate floors that have multiple mobs. And so floor 2 on general is higher because it has more enemies. And so people are essentially, right, this is what it would look like if you killed an AoE floor one mob at a time. This is what it would look like if you went into a floor like this, and on this first wave of enemies, instead of damaging multiple of them at once, you took these 5 enemies and then killed them one at a time. Like this. And so you killed all of them one at a time and then added up the HP totals that way. So that is what it looks like. That's why this has such a big bump over here, and that's why floor 2 is always higher than floor 1 on average. It's to account for the AoE. So yeah, any emergency over here, it is overstated. That essentially just means, that's essentially just why you see a jump. That means there were more lower HP enemies that you're intended to damage at the same time. That's just a little bit of clarification over there. And this is the situation. Every other 1.0 team has been able to, with the aid of like Nightmare Echoes, all of that stuff, they've been able to keep pace with any of these rises. It might be due to like buffs being available, all of that, so on and so forth. But all of these teams over here, they've been able to keep up with any level of HP inflation that's been occurring, and they've been able to retain full viability for clearing every single endgame mode. But this one, it's the outlier. This is the one team in the game with the most investment, actually, out of all the teams that we've shown, and it's also one of the teams that cannot clear. And the unfortunate part about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is that there's no reason that this team should be performing this badly, because it's literally the most expensive one that we've shown out of all of the ones on the list. With maybe this, actually no, this one has no shorekeeper, so yeah, it's cheaper. This one's cheaper too because it has no SK. You're using Verena here for coordinated attacks. So it's literally the most expensive team in the game, and it performs, or the most expensive team out of all the 1.x ones, and gets you the worst results. That's reverse power creep, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why this team has such massive issues. But the fact of the matter is that I think that this team is the exception with how awfully it fucking performs. And if you're gonna be talking about the strength of like the 1.x units, I think it's a way better example to focus on some of these ones that we're seeing on the screen, right? The ones that literally calc out to be 10k more, 12k, 13, 14k more DPS than this team that requires more resources. This one's an easy slam dunk if you want to talk about power creep and HP inflation, but you could have made the same arguments that you're making now in version 1.2 of the game, where this team got fucking cleaned by this one, and it got cleaned by this one. And it's further getting cleaned by this one and this one as the versions went on. And so yeah, that'll be my breakdown on power creep. That'll be my breakdown on the biggest issues. Augusta is going to come out and look like a severe example, right? Because she's Electro, and her team is better than Zhang Liao's team. But guess what? Jiyan's team is better than Zhang Liao's team. Camellia's team is better than Zhang Liao's team. Havoc Rover's team is better than Zhang Liao's team. Encore's team is probably better than Zhang Liao's team. And I don't know about that one for certain, but maybe. And of course, right, Camellya, Jinxie, their teams are better than Zhang Liao's team. It's not just her that power crept him. It's every other main DPS in the fucking game that power crept Zhang Liao. He power crept himself in version 1.2. So yeah, that'll be our coverage for today. Hopefully the breakdown, the examples, the gameplay that we've shown have really shed some light on this matter. I tried my, like, I'm gonna be honest, right? You can upload, maybe you can upload a clear. Maybe you can upload your own gameplay where you do get, you know, above 230 with your Xiangli out team. But the thing is, there's too much work involved for it, too much RNG. And a team like that, with that much investment, limited weapons, should never be outperformed to this high of a degree by other units. And the last note that I'll make is pretty much a simple one, right? I just talked about how all of these teams, right, with 4-star characters are outperforming, right, this Xiangli out team. That means that there's really a big opportunity for all of these 1.x characters that I've shown for them to get a more optimized support, right? Jinxie over here could use a support where it's like, you know, and gives her 50% resonance skill damage amp, right? And then off element coordinated attacks. Jinxie is also a character, right, that could just take this, convert it to resonance skill, and then give that character coordinated attacks. That's her new best in slot. Then you got Jiyan over here. All Mortefi's given him, right, is that 38% heavy. Jiyan still needs his 20% arrow, 25% heavy attack, sub DPS. Doesn't have that one yet. This guy, it's already there, but the performance is worse than all these other teams. So he's just kind of fucked until another sub DPS comes out for him because of how cooked Yinlin is. And then this team, right, it's way better with Rosia. This team, right, it does more damage with Rosia. And when Rosia is here and with her Sig, I can assure you this team does clean up the TOA, floors 3 and 4, quite well. When you just make this adjustment, right, and you have that investment on your Rosia. And believe me when I say this, I've tested it out because I do have that investment on the Rosia, and the team actually does end up clearing quite comfortably. And when that's what it's looking like for the 1.0 characters, when they have, like, their best in slot support, I'm just gonna be honest, it's, it only tells you more and more just how absolutely fucked this lineup is. And so, yeah, that'll be that for that one, ladies and gentlemen. I do think that it's definitely a big issue for us to talk about the strength of some of the 1.x characters. I've already leaned into the topic of the next couple of videos, but we will be exploring a little bit more about those ideas. But just wanted to concentrate our efforts on the clear lowest performers on the roster and just why they are the way that they are and what needs to be fixed for them moving forward. Peace out.